I wake up inside the silence that follows noise. Not the calm kind, the careful kind. My phone is face down, but I already know what's on it. My name didn't trend because of goals. It trended because I answered my manager in public. I denied his comments about my training. I implied I was being made a scapegoat. I did it on social media. Everyone saw it. Manchester United saw it. The line between the dressing room and the outside world is gone now, and I'm the one who crossed it. I'm Jadon Sancho, and this is the morning after that. Nothing is being investigated. Nothing is developing. The facts are already fixed. I was left out of the squad. The manager explained why. I responded publicly. Media backlash followed immediately. Fans turned.
Pundits didn't debate whether I was right. They debated whether I was manageable. Former players talked about standards, discipline, respect. Inside the club, the language changed. The possibility of reconciliation dropped to almost zero. I feel it before anyone speaks. My name enters rooms ahead of me now. People still open doors, access still works, security still waves me through. But the tone is different. Conversations shorten. Jokes don't land because no one wants to be the one who says the wrong thing around me. I'm handled carefully, like a situation instead of a person. Strategically, as if every interaction might be quoted later. Power still operates automatically. That's the strange part. Even damaged, the name carries weight. Not authority, risk. I can feel people calculating in real time. How to speak, how to look neutral, how not to get pulled into it. Silence becomes a service they offer me. Distance becomes professionalism. I don't argue with any of it. I don't correct anyone's interpretation. The labels are already circulating. Undisciplined, emotional, difficult. Those words move faster than I do. They don't need me to confirm them. What shocks me isn't the criticism. It's how quickly trust collapses when a private conflict becomes public. This isn't about one post anymore. It's about what clubs fear most. Loss of control, loss of hierarchy, loss of the invisible rules that keep the system intact. I broke one of those rules out loud. So I sit with the aftermath. No apology tour, no explanation. Just the awareness that my reputation now walks into every conversation first, and I follow behind it quietly, trying to catch up. 2. I wake up knowing the script for me has already been written by other people. My job today is not to perform well, it's to not make things worse. The first message isn't from family, it's from PR. Short, neutral, no emojis. I'm reminded not to post anything, not even something harmless, especially not something harmless. Silence is the strategy now. Silence looks cooperative. Silence looks professional. Silence gives everyone else time to decide what version of me they're comfortable defending. By mid-morning, I'm in a room with lawyers and communications people. No one asks how I slept. They talk about risk, about headlines, about how the club doesn't want escalation, about how every sentence I might say has two meanings now, the literal one and the one people want. I nod. I don't interrupt. I notice how often my name is avoided, like saying it too directly might activate something. I leave through a side entrance. That wasn't my idea. It never is. Cameras are already waiting where I'm not supposed to be. Even walking to a car feels like a statement now. If I smile, I'm not taking it seriously. If I don't, I'm sulking. If I look tired, I'm unprofessional. So I look neutral. Neutral still gets framed as defiant. I go to training even though I know where I stand. The atmosphere is careful. People are polite in a way that feels procedural. Conversations stop when I approach, not out of hostility, but out of self-preservation.
Nobody wants to be quoted as close to Sancho. I can feel the institution protecting itself, quietly, efficiently. I do something small that I'm not supposed to do. I talk. Nothing dramatic. I answer a question directly instead of redirecting it to media staff. I don't criticize anyone. I don't defend myself. I just describe what I'm doing today. That's enough. Within an hour, it's spun into breaking silence. The wording suggests defiance even when there isn't any. Context evaporates. Tone gets rewritten by people who weren't there. PR steps in immediately. I'm told it wasn't smart. Not wrong, just not smart. There's a difference now. Truth is allowed only when it's useless. The moment it carries weight, it becomes dangerous. In the afternoon, a scheduled appearance gets canceled. Official reason? Logistics. Real reason? Unpredictability. My presence introduces variables. Sponsors don't like variables. The industry runs on predictability, and I've become a reminder that players are human enough to disrupt narratives. I scroll through headlines even though I'm not supposed to. One outlet calls it a power move. Another calls it immaturity. Both are responding to the same non-event. I didn't change anything, but my name did. Everything bends around it now. I take a walk in public on purpose. No hoodie, no disguise. This is the unsafe part. People film from a distance. Some shout advice. Some shout abuse. Most just record. Later, those clips get uploaded with captions I never hear in real life. The footage becomes proof of whatever the uploader already believes. By evening, I'm advised to release a statement. Carefully worded, empty enough to offend no one. I read it and recognize nothing of myself in it. That's the point. I don't post it, not yet. Delay creates anxiety, and anxiety creates leverage. Everyone wants resolution. I'm not supposed to control that anymore, but I still can, for a moment. I end the day realizing something uncomfortable. The scandal didn't just damage my image. It taught everyone how fragile truth becomes once a name turns radioactive. Facts don't disappear. They just stop mattering in the way they used to. Tomorrow, this power fades. Decisions get made without me. But today, I saw the machinery up close. And I understand why silence is enforced so aggressively. It's not to protect me. It's to protect the system from what happens when someone inside it speaks without permission. 3. The last hours of the day stretch longer than the rest of it. Not because anything happens, but because nothing is allowed to. I'm alone, technically. No cameras in the room, no microphones. And yet I still lower my voice when I speak to myself. That's the part that lingers. Fame doesn't leave when people do. It stays as a posture, a way of holding your body still, just in case. The cost of the scandal isn't a fine or a suspension. It's narrower than that. It's the loss of informal space. Every thought now has a gate in front of it. Every sentence asks permission before it forms. I don't wonder what I think anymore. I wonder how it would land. That calculation has replaced instinct. I still have influence, on paper. My name still carries heat. But I can feel it cooling. Not disappearing, settling into something heavier and less useful. Power used to mean movement. Now it means containment. I can't act freely, but other people still react to me intensely. That's the trap. Attention without agency. I notice how carefully I manage my own curiosity. I don't Google myself. I don't read comments. Not because I'm above them, but because I know how easily they would rewrite me from the inside. Surveillance doesn't always come from outside. Eventually, you take over the job yourself. What's unsettling is realizing that tomorrow I'll return to my own life. This borrowed authority expires. The meetings, the handlers, the silence, they fall away. But this person doesn't get that ending. Jadon Sancho wakes up tomorrow still carrying the version of himself that outpaced him online. Reputation doesn't reset with sleep. It becomes an atmosphere you breathe without noticing until you try to leave it. There's a quiet irony in how simple it was for me to step into this. One name, one day, full access to the pressure, without the years that built it. And still, it felt unbearable by nightfall. The restraint, the constant editing, the knowledge that even stillness communicates something unintended. Living inside this indefinitely would require a kind of numbness, or discipline so tight it passes for obedience. Either way, something essential would have to go. Probably early. Probably quietly. As the day closes, I think about anonymity, not as freedom, but as absence. The absence of interpretation. The absence of people deciding what you mean before you finish a sentence. I don't feel relief knowing I'll return to it. Just awareness. Power isn't stable. It isn't fair. It isn't owned. It's borrowed, conditional, and withdrawn the moment it stops serving the structure around it. I step out of this life understanding one thing clearly. Some names never get to be just names again. Disclaimer. This video is a fictional, satirical thought experiment. It does not depict or claim to represent the real thoughts, intentions, experiences, or private life of Jadon Sancho. All narration and events are imagined for the purpose of social commentary on fame, scandal, power, media perception, and public pressure within elite sport and celebrity culture. This work is not a biography, a factual account, or an accusation. It should be understood as an abstract exploration of how reputation and authority function after public controversy, not as a statement about any real individual.